So let's talk about treatment. This is not necessarily in order of importance or order of ease, or how easy things are. But it is clear that people that carry a lot of emotional garbage and can't let things move out of their body at the mental and energy level will have a hard time getting fat to move out of their body also. And I think this is a very undervalued part of the treatment process. If we don't get rid of all that garbage from childhood and that garbage from that ex and all the stuff that's going on, and we can't work that through, and we can't figure out a way to look forward in positivity, then we are going to have a very difficult time losing fat, because we have a hard time getting rid of and moving other things out of our body. Exercise. Walking is good. Walking correctly is very important. And we've talked about that before. We need to walk with our shoulders back, chest forward, head straight up, and we should be sitting like that too. Now everyone's going to sit, move their posture right now. Posture is important. Sitting posture is important. Walking posture is important. What I did not put on this slide, because I've been looking at this in the last few weeks much more aggressively, and that is the amount of research that is present showing that burst exercise may be the most important part of losing weight. Burst exercise of 30 seconds, 30 to 60 seconds. That is, you exercise to your maximum. Now, when I was young and 18 and 16 and 15 and I could actually run a race, I found that running that 100-yard dash was pretty hard. But I could run that 100-yard. You can run 100 yards in what? The world record is 10 seconds, so that means I could do it in 20 seconds. Or 15 or 20 seconds. That's what we could do when we were younger. But there is a point where you run as fast as you can, as far as you can, that you just can't run anymore. That is burst exercise. What you want to do is figure out what you need to do for 30 to 60 seconds that you cannot do for longer than 60 seconds. If you can do it for longer than 60 seconds, you need to burst faster. That can be walking upstairs. You go to the big Brown Stadium, and you remember Rocky? He could run up all those stairs. Well, you and I can't do that today. We run up those stairs very long. If we have good knees, good hips, we have reasonably good strength, we're going to run out of gas within 30 to 45 seconds if you really push hard going up those stairs. Or you do the stair stepper at maximum speed. You can burst for 30 to 60 seconds, but if you can do it for longer than 60 seconds, you're not bursting fast enough. And with those bursts, if you can get 4 of those bursts, 30 to 60 second bursts a day, 3 out of 7 days a week, you will start to see incredible changes in your fat. That is probably the single biggest change in research in the last years. When I was taught all of this, I was taught the difference between aerobic and anaerobic exercise. Aerobic exercise is, that cardio that we do. We keep it up for what, 20 minutes, 30 minutes? But how much weight have you lost with cardio and with walking? How many years have we told people all you have to do is walk and you'll lose weight? Did it work? Not very well. And cardio works a little bit. But the new research is showing this burst 4 minutes a day. Let's say you did it once before you came to work, once during noon. You have a gym here, and twice at night, 4 minutes, 3 days a week, and you will start to see more fat burning than you have seen in the past. at 4 minutes a day. Now, if you have bad knees, it's tough to do the stairs. So you're going to have to figure out some way to do that. Now, I'm trying to I've had back problems for 30, 40 years. And whenever I did sit-ups, it would hurt my back. So I had a great excuse not to do sit-ups. Of course, if you don't build the stomach muscles, it puts more stress on the back. So all I was doing by not doing sit-ups for 30 years is making my back problem worse. And I had a trainer show me how, with back problems, to do sit-ups that doesn't hurt the back. So I used to could do 30. I've now gotten to 50. When I do 50 sit-ups, and some of you are out there saying 50, I do 200. Well, that's not me. I've been working hard to get to 50. But when I did 50, the other day, I found I couldn't do any more, and I was huffing and puffing. And you can, with a trainer or with some weights and doing, all this stuff, and some of the toughest, what we know with people with angina is the hardest things, the thing that will trigger the angina the most, outside of shoveling, shoveling snow, which more people, because you have the cold exposure and the exercise, people with angina, that's probably the worst thing you can do. The next worst thing, or even worse than that, is taking things from up here and bringing them down. There just is a lot of stress on the body, a lot of exercise involved with this kind of movement. So get your weights, and you can actually burst and get maximal output in 30 to 60 seconds by doing something other than just running. I did see, they have all these YouTube videos with they always show these athletes, They don't show those of us that are just trying hard. But they had this elastic rope, basically, hooked to a tree, and it was a harness. And he would pull out here, and then he'd run in place, because he's running forward, but the stretch on this harness was pulling him back, and he could do that for 30, 45 seconds, running full speed, but going nowhere. So there are some things, there's lots of variety on how to burst your exercise, but that may be the single biggest change in the way we're looking at fat that's occurred in 30 years.